Never fear, Cindersh is here, and today I have a Dragon Ball theory discussion video for you, dealing with trying to explain what is Super Saiyan God, and what is Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, and how are they different. Now, it's actually pretty easy, I think, to explain what Super Saiyan God is. Super Saiyan God is a form created from a ritual. That's the only way to get it, is by going through the ritual. Now, that's not to say that's the only way to get God Ki. That's the only way to achieve Super Saiyan God as a form. So the only way to get the red hair like Goku got, the red-haired form, is by undergoing the ritual that they did in the Battle of Gods movie and saga for Super. So unless they go and give us a flashback of Vegeta undergoing the ritual, he's never going to have achieved this form of Super Saiyan God. It can't happen, because you have to go through the ritual to get Super Saiyan God as a form. And of course, it runs out. Just like it did for Goku during his fight, it runs out. It doesn't last forever. It's not permanent. It's not something you can have come and go whenever you want once you've undergone the ritual. You undergo the ritual, you become a Super Saiyan God, and you are that until it runs out. Whether there's a time limit on it, like the fusion, or you just run out of energy, whichever the case is that causes it, it runs out, and then you don't go back into it unless you undergo the ritual again. Now, Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan is completely different from that. Now, Goku, we know, got his God Ki because of undergoing the ritual. Because of going Super Saiyan God, he was able to retain some of that God Ki. Now, the question is up in the air as to how Vegeta gets God Ki. Does Vegeta get it because he was involved in the ritual with Goku, and so some of that God Ki passed into him? Or, as I'm more likely to believe, during his time with Whis, he has received God Ki either by Whis directly giving him it, or somehow through the training Whis put him under, he received it. Whichever case it is, and it doesn't really matter, although it would be nice for Super to give us an explanation. It doesn't really matter. Either way, he has God Ki now, and he's able to use it. And so, Whis is training Goku and Vegeta on how to master using their God Ki. And so we get in a recent episode where Whis makes this statement about raising the Ki that's only from the inside. And I do think this has a relation to the God Ki, but I don't think that's the key to creating God Ki. I think that's a clue to them for how to distinguish their God Ki from their regular Ki. You know, I made a comment in someone else's video a day or two ago about them, whether or not they have two different Kis, and I do think that is the case. They have their regular Ki that they've always had, which gives that external aura. It's manifested from outside of them. It comes off from outside, and that's what leaks out and gets felt by the enemies, is that external Ki, the regular Ki. But if they train the Ki that's only on the inside of them, that's going to help them distinguish and master their God Ki. Because as the God Ki comes solely from inside, and so it's helping them to work on that Ki as opposed to their regular Ki. I mean, they could keep going and training their regular Ki left and right. That's never going to help them increase their God Ki. But focusing on raising up and increasing that internal Ki That's where the God Ki lies. That's what's going to help focus and strengthen the God Ki. And once they start trying to do that, that's when we see their collision produce that blue aura and hints towards that's the key to reaching Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Keep mastering your God Ki, keep raising your God Ki, and then there will be something to be achieved, something greater to be achieved. Just like with Goku and Vegeta reaching Super Saiyan, they had to increase their regular ki to a certain level. Then they had to master their ki, and of course there was another external trigger to it, and they had to work through that trigger to unlock their Super Saiyan form. But I do believe you had to reach a certain level of strength before you could go Super Saiyan. So, Kid Goku could never have reached Super Saiyan. Vegeta and Goku during the Saiyan saga were not strong enough to go Super Saiyan. Which means a 10,000 Bardock was not strong enough to go Super Saiyan. All you Bardock fans, I'm sorry. He was not strong enough to go Super Saiyan. Whether or not Goku was strong enough by the time he faced Ginyu, maybe. I don't know about that. Maybe he was strong enough because he was definitely beyond bounds of a regular Saiyan. And he certainly had a much better control of his ki than we'd ever seen anybody have. I mean, and it marvels Vegeta, the control Goku has to put all of his ki into the impact of his one strike and then be at a seemingly lower level otherwise. He had such control of his ki that he was able to pinpoint accurately distribute that ki when and where he needed it. And that's the kind of control Vegeta and Goku are trying to achieve with the God Ki. They're trying to achieve that kind of control of it, and they're trying to increase the strength of their God Ki. And once they've done those things, they will be able to unlock the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan transformation. Now, they have God Ki, and they've been training in their base form, which, to distinguish it from their old base form, is called Saiyan Beyond God, because it's their base form with God Ki and not just regular Ki. So they are beyond a regular Saiyan. They are gods. I mean, they are gods in their regular forms. They are Saiyan gods. Plain and simple, in their base form, they're Saiyan gods. But they become Super Saiyan God Super Saiyans with the transformation. And to unlock it, they've got to master controlling their God Ki, and they got to increase their God Ki. And so that's what they're working on doing, is they're strengthening their God Ki and they're mastering their control. And Whis' statement is to help them master their control of the God Ki. And of course, given that this form increases the strength of the God Ki, it will be, in the end, a stronger form than Goku's Super Saiyan God form, the red-haired form. Because this is working on the God Ki that was just handed to Goku through the ritual, it's going to be stronger in the end. And probably already is by the time we get to Golden Frieza. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Does this theory help clarify a whole bunch of things for you in terms of these two forms? I sure hope so. It definitely makes a lot of sense to me. I hope you liked the video, and you'll continue to check out my channel and even subscribe to it. This is Super Saiyan 7 Sindish, and I will be back with new content in the near future.